In this video, I'm going to give you a quick review on the Infusible ink markers made by Cricut and how they interact with 100% cotton shirts. I followed the instructions on the Cricut website for the Infusible ink markers, and I actually made this in Adobe Illustrator and then exported it as a PNG. Uploaded that PNG into my Cricut design space, and then had the black marker draw it out. And so this is what the original image looked like. You can see it's very sharp. It's a 1-point tip, so it's going to be bolder. I colored in these areas because I wanted those filled a little bit, but the rest of the outline is from the marker. And so I followed instructions and put the cardstock underneath the shirt, and it actually bled through onto the cardstock, so it's important to have that cardstock there. I would maybe even double up if you have cardstock to spare. And so that was the first one I did, and it actually bled through from onto the butcher paper too. So I'll tell you what I did after that in just a minute, but this is how it came out. And with this light, it looks pretty bold, pretty solid, but it's actually more of like a faded black at this point, although it looks really good on the camera. So I also made spots to put on, and the reason that this one did not come out so well is because it was on the crease, and I did not apply pressure to the heat press that I was using, the Cricut Easy Press. I just laid it on there, and had I applied the pressure, it would be darker right here. But like I said, this is a 100% cotton shirt. It's a 3T, which I have a toddler, and none of Cricut's shirts are toddler sizes, and so that's why I just went ahead and went with this to see what would happen. So the second, whenever I was working on the back, as you can see, it also bled through onto my cloth that I have right here, which that's fine. But by the time I got to the back, I put cardstock on the inside, the image down, cardstock on top, and then I used another piece of clean butcher paper, and you can still see where the butcher paper, the Infusible ink still faded onto the butcher paper where there was no cardstock. And so I did this to kind of preserve the cardstock a little bit longer, and you can see that it still gives you that slightly faded look. I'm not sure what this will look like after I wash it, but I'll definitely wash it by itself, inside out. But that's when this image got put on here. So I would also, in the future, put cardstock right here. If you're using a Cricut mat, it would definitely come off of the shirt and onto the mat. And so I would put cardstock over the mat also, maybe a couple of pieces if you have any to spare. And that is my review of using Cricut's Infusible ink markers on 100% cotton. So it's definitely a different result than on the polyester shirts, but if that's all you've got,